Go! God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. Level up. Level up. Go! Everything, that means everything. Eyes connected to everything. And that's why I'm in everything. All eyes on me. All eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
All right, perfect. We are live on all platforms right now. Facebook and YouTube. Great. I want to thank everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. This is Things That People Don't Want to Talk About, brought to you by God Level. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I am a mother. I'm a nurse. I'm an entrepreneur. I have this podcast. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm an aunt. I'm a Gigi. I am everything good. Ivy, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Mwah! What's going on, wonderful people in the place to be? It is a wonderful Tuesday. I'm your girl, Inattentive Ivy, ADHD owner of all the doggone hamsters. You can find me on TikTok as Inattentive Ivy. I am also a mom, a sister, a friend, former military broadcast journalist. I always like talking about mental health, ADHD, Asperger's, autism, all of those different things, advocating for our communities of color for healing. So my sharing and helping me stay accountable for me and my bullshit is helping to heal me, and hopefully y'all get something out of it too. So I'm gonna always try to keep it a buck. Let's go.
Let's go. John, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
John Skywalker, the Sly Talker here. I'm a lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and I'm a father who is currently taking online, that's virtual, clients. If you have diabetes, if you have an obesity problem, if you have some hypertension, if you're just trying to get some confidence back, if you need help in developing a self-care routine, you have depression, PTSD, exercise, regular exercise is going to help you manage all of that. It's not a cure, but it will help you manage all of that. And yeah, you can go out there and do it on your own. You can go out here and go to Facebook or YouTube University, Facebook University, and you can get some tips from there too, all right? But you want to get it from somebody who's certified, because there's a lot of nonsense out there. And on this podcast, on this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about that, why we trust in that stuff, sometimes at face value. So if you're looking for somebody to hold you accountable and, help you establish those goals and even develop a regimen, I'm your guy, at master.johnskywalker, at master.johnskywalker, at master.johnskywalker on Instagram. Salute.
We didn't talk about the albums.
Yeah, folks ain't really listening to the album, so I'm gonna just keep it moving.
All right. King Newborn, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Peace. This King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Newborn Everything. And as always, I am that I am, service to the community, friends, family, loved ones. And, as I always say, decide, choose, execute.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And I always understand that your decisions make up the total sum of it.
Peace. All right. Tonight's podcast is going to be about trust. And do you really know why you trust? Ooh. John, you come with some topics, baby.
Because it's just everyday stuff. It's everyday stuff.
Yes.
Stuff that's important to all of us.
Yes, it is.
It's just life. And that's what this podcast is about, us having these conversations, things that we really should already be talking about, but we don't. It's stuff we should be talking about every day.
Yeah.
Regular stuff. Just contemplate life, be curious, right?
Yeah.
So, this is one of them. Do you really understand what trust is? Especially during this time. Where before, you only had a few manipulations out there. And now it seems like the economy of manipulation is at an all-time high, and it's probably going to get higher because the brain evolves, and you get different ways to manipulate trust. So yeah, it's a very important concept, a very important abstraction. Trust.
She said, I trust, but I don't put anything past nobody.
Man, come on, bro. Come on.
So what is it?
So what is trust?
About here? Yeah, what is it?
What's trust? I'm gonna have to do that too. Y'all did it. I'm gonna have to go do it.
Yeah, like, is it an energy? Is trust an energy? Is it just an idea?
An action.
Trust is an action?
It's an action. Yeah. Yeah.
Trust is an action.
What say you, Facebook family? What is trust?
What is trust?
Come on here. Jump in them comments. You know what I'm saying?
Like, do you have to act in order to have trust, to possess trust, to be aware of your trust? Do you have to actually act on something?
Or not act?
I think that you don't necessarily have to act on anything. I don't think it's an action. I think it's intrinsic.
Woo! Is it? Okay, we're going somewhere. All right, you said intrinsic. That's a good word right there. That's a good one.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I like that one. I like intrinsic.
Oh, trust is when you can tell. Come on, let's bring that. Come on, Marcus. Come on, Marcus. Come on, Marcus.
Tell someone things without them telling others, or throwing it back in your face. Or using it to manipulate you.
Does it have to have those? Nope. You go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
Basic level.
So we're just gonna explore, right? I want us to really, and I really believe in this, just as an overall approach to life. Really take on that childlike mind and just be curious. Like revisit some of the basic concepts that you've learned, and just ask yourself, how much do I really know about this thing that's been so prevalent in my life? Trust is prevalent.
Thank you, Marcus.
These are examples. We got some examples.
Yeah, without thinking they may get into get into some shit. Yeah.
But what is it though? Still, like, so we have manifestations, we have expressions of trust, right? We have things that symbolize trust. Oh, okay. Hold on. All right.
Yeah.
It's a key component of social relationships and is important for cooperation. Okay. We can agree there. All right. Yeah. So it's a component. So we got a component. Trust is a component.
Trust is an intrinsic belief.
All right. Intrinsic. Oh, okay. Hold on.
It is an internal. Belief. It is an internal belief. Because, I had to go to Sir Google, because, I love me some Sir Google, you know what I'm saying? To go ahead and look up the actual definition, right? And even within the definition, it says it has several key factors, right? And I was looking at those key factors and I was like, okay, those sound good. Reliability, honesty, competence, emotional safety, benevolence, right? But there are people who can trust things or people that are not necessarily honest, that are not necessarily benevolent. Oh, come on, Marcus. Oh, man.
You know what? Thank you, Marcus, because that is exactly how I feel about everyone on this panel. I feel that way. What he just said is exactly how I feel about each and every last one of you. I know that whatever I talk to with John is going to stay between me and John. I know whatever I talk to with Ivy is going to stay between me and her. I know whatever I talk to with King Newborn is going to stay within us. Unless I did some shit and you want to get sister involved.
All right, so I'm listening, right? And what I'm hearing is what's being done with the trust. Okay, I'm hearing this is what we do with the trust. So I trust John to do XYZ, up, down, inside, out, right? But that's based on something, right? So I trust. Obviously, there's a transaction. Like she said, that it's an action, but there's a transaction going on.
I get it.
Something is happening.
If you repeat and stay consistent in certain things, right? You begin to trust something. Like if you trust that if you cleaned your 9, right? you cleaned your 9, you got oil in it, you make sure that you know what I'm saying, like all the parts together, you know that your 9 is going to do what mechanics does. It's going to point, or you're going to point that gun and it's going to shoot every time if you took care of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you trust that it's going to do that. You can trust that, I can trust that if I try to put my hand down to an unknown dog, I can trust that dog is going to do what an unknown dog would do. It could bite me. You see what I'm saying? If it's unfamiliar, depending on what it is. So I trust there's a pattern. It's repeated patterns.
But we're not touching it yet. We're still skating around it. So I'm still hearing descriptive, right?
Okay.
You're doing something with the trust, right? And you're describing, all right, so what you're saying right there is there's an expectation that forms when you put your trust into something.
Right.
So that expectation is just that's in the mind, right? But what is actually happening? Like, where is it? Somewhere in the body? Is it in your penis? Is it in your brain? Is it in your fingertips? Where is this trust that we're just putting into stuff? Like, it's not tangible, obviously,
right?
Or is it? Is it?
Oh, is it?
Is trust tangible? Because you can feel it. You can feel it, but I mean, is it? Can you grab it? Can you?
You can't really. That's the reason. That's the reason why I said I was like, it's a belief. I mean, because it's not tangible. It's like it's something that is. Yes, thank you for making a gun thing. I'm just
because it really clicked with him when he said that. And I just started laughing. Go ahead,
but that's his pursuit. He's he's pursuing gunsmithing. So yeah. Passion.
Oh, okay.
Passion. Yeah.
Okay. But no, I think that it's not necessarily something that is tangible. It's something that's created between. It's kind of oh gosh, I'm trying to think of how to. It's like created on a plane. You know what I'm saying? Like on an invisible plane. I don't know. You go right ahead, John.
No, because I'm right here. I'm right here with y'all. I'm coming in this fresh. I want us to just like, what? Okay, let's start off with what is it? We can recognize symbols of trust, like the dollar, the yen, right? This coin, this credit card. I put trust in that, how it functions, right? But what am I actually doing in terms of the trusting part? Like we said, it's activity, it's action.
Oh, that's a vulnerability.
Yes, it's not a symbol of trust.
Come on.
Here's where I'm going to challenge it. Because again, you know it's a symbol of trust because people use it.
Yes.
So you can determine how much a person trusts in something or anybody trusts in anything by the amount of trust that it garners. I don't have to believe I don't have to believe that the dollar is actually valuable. I don't have to believe that. I don't have to trust in that. But if everybody else does that mean that it's not trustworthy? Just to me. Just to me, as far as I know. But it's here and there are people using it, so they trust it. Because they're using it. So you can determine the trust of something by its usefulness, its function.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think the dollar's a fake trust. Baby. Listen, 10 to 15 years, y'all get your gold stacked because but I'm just
again, here's where I'm trying to apply some pressure here, right?
Okay.
So there's reactions that come about this, right? So dollar is a fake trust, right? Yeah. But let me take 50 from you. Let me just take it. How are you gonna respond to that? And why did you? Why are you responding like that though? It's fake. It's not real. Why are you responding though? Why? It's a lie, right? But why are we? Why? Is that really called for? It's fake. It ain't real.
No, I don't think you can fake trust though. I mean, well, hold on. Let me go ahead and rewind this.
Why not?
Nah, because I'm just saying, I mean, it's like, no, it's not a fake trust because I saw you physically take $50 from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trusting in the fact that $50 can go today or an extended point of time to help feed my family, to help pay my bills, to help, you know what I'm saying? I trust in the value that is given at this this point in time in the present. And if you really think about it, they say that human beings, instead of thinking about the past or the future, we should actually just stay present. So maybe that's maybe trust is a vulnerability with something that is like a present circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that's kind of what it is. Because I just know that it's like it takes it's an exercise in vulnerability. Oh yeah.
Ivy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm
Marcus.
right there with you. Yeah, I like
Ivy.
that part. I think vulnerability is involved.
Yes.
It is
yes.
involved. Yeah,
Yeah.
it comes into the party.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always at the party.
I
What
mean,
about you, King? You over there quiet. What about you?
I'm learning.
Yeah, look, I want to hear.
oh my goodness.
Oh wait.
You gotta unmute yourself, King.
Oh my God.
There you go.
I like how y'all building.
I'm
Y'all
listening.
building.
And learning. I'm listening and learning.
I will say, for the most part, I just look at trust as something that you create within your own mind.
Mhm.
It's what you place value on, whatever that value is to you. Can nobody waver you from that? Just like John pointed out, whether you're talking about the gun or the dollar, it's whatever value you put on it. You know, just because somebody take $50 from you, what if you look at it as, okay, I can get that back. Ain't no big deal. Let me keep it moving. I don't allow my feelings to become my attachment to a certain item, person, place, or thing. You know what I'm saying? So trust is basically, well, I'm gonna say for me, for the most part, is me just trusting myself within my own mind frame. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's the direction that John's going, but I'm saying trust is based off of self. You don't really have nothing to do with it on the outside. That's just my spiel for right now.
There's a lot of things we can trust in. You can trust in yourself. You can trust in the world around you. This is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Like, really think about, as a human, day to day, second to second functioning, day to day. Do you know how many decisions you have to make at a micro level? Emotions you have, thoughts you have, people you see, things you smell, you hear, interpretations you got to make. All of that requires trust. It's guiding. You're being guided somewhere.
It does.
Psychologically, you are being guided somewhere. Okay, and so the severity, the strength of that trust, and the form it takes, that's different. But we're just dealing with the essence, the function, the spirit of trust. I don't even like to say spirit of trust, but we're dealing with the essence of what it is, the thing in and of itself that's moving through all it, what's behind it. Now for real, you literally have to trust.
Come on.
You have to say, what?
And in Washington State, they are not.
Oh man!
Can we go ahead and because
we talked about that last night.
We literally did.
We talked about that last night.
Go ahead, God level. Go ahead. Come on.
No, I'm learning.
All right, but I will say, and then we're going to go on to the next question, right? So I just want to give a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of space to some of those elements, those components. Somebody said components earlier, right? So we were talking about reliability. Someone said honesty is in there somewhere. I think Ivy mentioned like benevolence. There's competence, there's vulnerability, and there are, different types of trust too. There's trust in your institutions, there's trust in yourself, there's trust in society, right? So I think the next question that we could throw up in here, let's see.
Y'all gonna answer his question?
Man, because I'm just like Marcus and D. Allen.
I'm just waiting.
To the non-attachment school of thought.
Come on, bruh.
Oh man! So now we're just talking about observing.
But is
non-attached.
observing?
If you are non-attached, you are observing. You're connected, but you're just observing. So if you're not attached, do you really need to trust? You're just observing.
I was just going to say, I was like, if you're not attached, then all you can do is really observe, but you can't really trust anything. I think that trusting takes a level of vulnerability. Oh,
I'm gonna go with that since I'm, my little medical field background.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with that one. Mr. Marcus, do one thing at a time for 30 days. Build that trust within yourself.
come on.
Take something away that you know you don't need for 30 days and then add to it the next 30 days. You're going to build up that trust and confidence and self-love in yourself on that journey. I'm there, so I can spit that shit out. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. So would there be for any need for trust whatsoever? I think. Go ahead, John.
First off, shouts out to D Alley. Yo, look at the PNC in the building. Oh man,
the PNC.
Oh man, this is rich. This is rich, man.
This really is.
Yeah, because we know D.
Yeah, so, we know D. We were deployed with him. So
yeah. So, would there be any need for trust whatsoever? Yes.
It's gotta be, man.
Direction, manifestation. When you're manifesting, that requires trust. That powers the whole thing. If there's something that's already created, and you're going to partake, use, interact, relate, your trust is going to be a core component here in terms of determining, that relationship, the nature of that relationship. So whether it be a religious belief system, whether it be your computer, whether it be getting on this motorcycle or about to get married, you have to put your trust into this in order to advance, manifest, and create. Because otherwise, you go back to non-attachment, observation. You ain't making no decisions. You just observing. You just witnessing.
Right. And you are ultimately. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't need trust for that.
Definitely.
You don't need trust for that. 30 days is a lot easier to deal with than
on this. I'm with Marcus on this. I think the current definition of trust are all fucked up in today's time, in this generation, right here, right now. People are loyal to the wrong shit and don't trust what's real anymore, man, or what's standing right there in front of them. He said, Who friend is who is D friend? Who is D friend?
That's what we were saying. We both know him.
Yeah. We both know. No, listen. So human beings are creature. We are creatures of comfort, and if we do not create some type of stability or some type of base in our life, that's when we don't necessarily move into alignment. And trusting in something, whether that's trusting in you got to trust in something as a human being in order to create that stability. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I like at the beginning, just like Marcus was saying that, he was saying that he has health issues and he can't create new habits. I talk about it all the time. I have health issues. I'm ADHD as shit, right?
Yes.
My thing is that same thing, just like God level said, you start with one habit.
One little thing. One
habit. And a lot of times trust gets stuck, right? Because we don't trust ourselves. When we live disconnected from ourselves and we can't trust ourselves, then that causes us not to be able to trust other people, or sometimes we'll be like, I can trust myself. Have you come to self? You know what I'm saying? Have you come to self? Do you know who self is? Can you really, you know what I'm saying? Because anything, if you can trust yourself to be vulnerable with yourself, then you can lend that vulnerability to other people to create a stable base. But that's just my thingy. I'm going to put myself on mute because y'all know I talk a lot.
Love it. I love it. King Newborn ready. You got the mic up? No. You don't know yourself better. Then Marcus, I suggest you come to this podcast every Tuesday. We're going to help you with that. We're definitely going to help you with that. That is... Yeah, no, spam all you want, like, share, and subscribe, honey. This is things that people don't want to talk about. These are those uncomfortable conversations, like John said in the beginning, that we should be having every day. This is how we elevate. This is how we evolve. We talk about it. Come on, let's go. Girl, I plan on being here every Tuesday. Thank you.
Peace. We welcome that. First and foremost, peace to all the comments this morning.
Man.
We appreciate the activity. First of all, man, I just like the activity for the most part. But just dealing with the word trust. John put it earlier. Based off your experience with a child, on up to your current age right now, you trust the information and data that's coming through your experiences. Your experiences help you build the data to where you either, like John said, the observant, because you don't know what to really trust, so you just take in the information again. So what you take in the information, and you really trust the information, not necessarily the individual nor the attachment. It still revolves around self all over again. You just come back to you.
Okay.
Like the question just asked, when it comes to trust, it's trust, a belief, or a faith. It's neither a belief or a faith. It's just you going over the data and processing the information. Like you said, if you deal with the fine systems or touches, whatever you see and hear, you can hear one thing and it be totally something different based off the information how you see it. So you can receive it through a touch and it doesn't register the same as how you look at it. Or you can receive it through a taste and it doesn't register the same as, when you smell it. You see what I'm saying? So it can throw you all off. So it's like, which one of those do you tap in to be like the springboard to be like, you know what? I'm going to take this as 100% accurate in order for me to progress and move forward, like John also pointed out. So it's like a big old circle, but it still come back to you, though. That's my take for right now.
Okay.
So what y'all think? Trust, faith, and belief, are they the same? Different?
I think they're intertwined, but they're different.
Okay.
Come on, Marcus. Student has become the teacher.
Exactly what I just said. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Exactly what I just said.
Yes.
Different.
Yes. That part. Oh my gosh. Come on, man. Come on, D. I don't know self at all. My good sir, you are at the most paramount part of your journey. This exact state of mind is what took me an entire 40 years to realize and then began my journey to self. Thank you, D. Allen, for saying that, because I tell everybody all the time, I come on this podcast a lot of times to keep myself accountable because my journey, like my journey, that journey started at 44. I'm 48 now. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a second and it really got deep this last 12 months. So I'm just saying, like, coming to self. Coming to self.
Cup. Yeah. Bro, I just turned 40. I need this realization.
Come on, man.
Wait.
Man, King Newborn says all the time, he's like, it starts at self. And the thing is that the reason why I was not trusting things in my life is because of the fact that I had to come to self and realize self. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with any issues and stuff. But if you can trust that you have your best interest in mind, that's a place to start. That is a place to start with and come into self. Yes.
Sometimes you gotta unlearn what you have learned in order to learn.
Empty your cup. That's very. So I think that trust, faith, and belief are like, they are different things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that faith and See, Marcus, you are so funny. Come on, Marcus. Come on, we can have some fried chicken. Well, we can have fried chicken. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, like, I believe that, like, faith and belief is kind of like dealing with hope, and trust is more dealing with, like you said, John, like the five senses. Yeah.
Okay.
God level?
I'm learning.
All right, so
I have a problem with the word trust, so I'm getting over. Facts are not feelings, or feelings are not facts. I'm learning because I'm getting over a hump when it comes to trusting outside of this group. So I'm learning. Go ahead.
All right, so in my view, this is experiential, this is perceptual, this is rational. They're the same stuff. Right. So belief is more like the formation of the trust or the faith. Right. It's the formation. So I want you to think like trust as the wave and belief as the crystallized, it's an ice cube. We'll just say that. So there's form and then there's a flow. Right. Trust does not have to be crystallized, right? But from what I've been studying in the dictionaries, in contextual terms, trust is more rational, right? So you usually need evidence for trust. That's usually what it deals in, right? Faith does not require evidence. It does not require proof. And it's usually emotional or spiritual, right? And it's kind of, I don't want to say aspirational, right? And then, yeah, belief is more of a crystallized. So you have a lot of beliefs, okay? You have a lot of beliefs, and they're just ideas, right? That could be true or false, but they're just ideas. They're half true, half false, right? Because beliefs can be true or false.
Yeah. True.
So when you think about beliefs, they can go either way. They're not, but you have to challenge them. You have to test them. So that's where the scientific method comes in. And then we do all this varied, right? But between the three, John to John, they're all the same. Trust is just like, in a semantic sense, it refers going backwards. It's like, I trust based off of previous experiences and such. Faith, you don't need previous experiences to have faith. So in a sense, what they're saying from a linguistic standpoint is faith is what you start with, trust is what you develop, and then beliefs form as a result of both.
Come on, so man, like, that's a bar.
Right. But this is just John, okay? This is not like, hey man, this is the truth. This is just my understanding. This is how I grapple with it, right? But I think it's very important for us to, distinguish them and really try to visualize and get a better understanding as to how it works, right? So you have a whole bunch of beliefs, but then there's a question as to why. Why did you form that belief? Why did you trust it? Now there's a why. What's the motivation? So even with faith and trust by itself isn't the same as motivation. Motivation is different. I'm motivated to trust this because blah, 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 blah. I'm motivated to have faith because blah, 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 blah. So now you got desire, trust, and it's like you're guiding these energies to create, right? Now, this is me just freestyling. Like I said, this ain't rehearsed. I'm playing here with y'all. I'm just trying to figure it out with y'all. Okay?
I love the volley. Like the volley, like between it. He's like, look, this is just what I'm telling you. No, that's really interesting. That is really, really interesting. Yeah, I'm just pondering on that for a second.
What determines the value of trust? Your experience with whatever it is that you are looking at.
Experience.
Yeah, okay. John, you've been consistent in your friendship and being genuine. My brother has been consistent in our relationship with tough love. you know I'm gonna throw you in there. Tough love. Yeah, Ivy has been consistent in our conversations, and we both ADHD. So if you could just hear the conversations that we have and talking about 20 million things, and then go back to the very first one and still pick up where we left off, amazing, absolutely amazing. I trust her to tell me the truth if it looks like I'm bleeding online. Let me know, Well, yeah, but other than that, it's the experience, it's the consistency. If you shown me over and over and over that you don't like me, then I don't trust you.
All right, so
I want to go ahead and talk about that. Benevolence. The benevolence is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Benevolence and trust, and determining the value of trust. Because if you don't think that somebody has your best interest in mind, or something has your best interest in mind, it's one of the reasons why communities of color can't trust the United States government.
All right. So the goodness of something. Yeah. It's like the benefit. The benefit.
Yeah. Do they have your best interest in mind, or are they trying to use you?
All right. You know it's goodness. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Are they trying to use you? Okay.
Consistency,
I mean, but at the same time, though, wouldn't that mean that after receiving that information, you start to trust them to be who they naturally showing you?
That's a part two.
Okay.
No, that's a part two. So it's like, it's after you see that somebody doesn't necessarily have your best interest in mind, you be like, I trust you to do this. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, that's perfectly fine. But then that means
they are. I think I
Yes.
heard. What is the rapper that passed away? Oh, DMX. Trust a snake to be a snake.
come on, man.
Trust a thief to be a thief. Oh my God. Yep. You're
And
right.
now it's an issue of not trusting yourself.
Right.
If you
Exactly.
trust that other
So-
person's going to show up.
Do you trust the deception of them, or you trust you to deceive yourself to believe them to be what you want them to be?
Come on now, because let's go ahead and talk about how some people get into fantastical thinking and they want to blame the other person for they shit being fucked up. You see what I'm saying? Like, you want to blame the other person for being an ass when they came to you and it was like, hey, I'm an ass, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Or they showed through their actions, their words can say, I'm not an ass. Actions, very much so. But then we get mad when they kind of show who they
You
were.
trusted what they showed you, but you had faith that they would change.
Woo!
Okay.
That needs to be. If my ladies are out there listening, I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna drop that mental bar. Okay, I'm gonna go on mute. Shut up.
And if you fellas out there listening,
Emotions plays a big part. Yeah, it does.
fellas,
Yes.
It does.
Emotional and psychological security.
Yeah, plays a big part. Yeah.
Yeah, I think emotions help determine the value of trust because, we do have a drive, a tendency towards emotional stability, psychological stability. We want to be sane. And so if I can put trust, like if I know that my sanity is on the line and I can trust you, it'll bring my sanity at a nice threshold. So the trust is valuable because of the risk, the consequences of broken trust, the consequences of skepticism, the consequences of cynicism. That all determines the value of trust. I also think I want to say what was that earlier? Risk and vulnerability. That determines the value of trust, because when you are deciding on who and what to trust, you're contemplating the risk. You're not just looking at the consequence. You're not just saying this could happen. You're weighing the options. Like, okay, I trust that this might happen. And then you're saying that's risky in terms of what, right? And so you got to figure that part out. I trust this is going to happen, but how is this going to weaken me? Or can I afford to endure this? Can I afford to tolerate this? So there's a risk assessment here. We're probably going to head down this course, and I have to, decide on whether I want to embrace that risk or be that vulnerable. Oh, I'm about to, leave, with this man, with my 3 kids. That puts me at risk. I don't know if I can trust this man.
Man,
Very true.
I mean, you still got to bring it back to yourself because the decision was made to even put trust in something. So how much do you know about that person or that thing or that item, whatever it may be? Then you got to switch it and be like, what's the value of myself to even make that decision?
And then he just gonna mic drop. Really?
I mean, but God level, you have pointed out numerous of times, even tonight. Learning how to just trust yourself based off your decision making.
Yeah.
You got to quit turning your power over to somebody else. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna learn that through experience.
There it is.
You're gonna learn that through experience. And I learned that through experience of giving my power away to somebody else. I'm not gonna even lie, I've been there. So yeah, so now I hold it very, very close to my bosom.
Yeah, but it's not a bad thing. That's character building.
I have that. No.
You put yourself in a position. Yeah, you have a
boundaries.
human experience. You're having a
Boundaries.
beautiful human experience.
I am.
And the more
I've learned a
beautiful
lot.
moments and experience you have, the better off you are. That's doing that one thing we always say, having knowledge of self.
Knowledge. Oh yeah.
Very,
And
very true.
it took me a long time, and I'm gonna go ahead and admit to this, because my brother has been saying this shit for years. It comes back to self. It comes back to self. When he first, it comes back to self. It's all about self. Just self this, self that. And I'm like,
Yo,
what the fuck is he talking about? I know he's smart as fuck. What does he mean? Like, and now I'm not gonna say right now in this moment, I finally get it. Like, I understand what the hell he means. It all comes back to you, what you allow, what you put out there, what you fucking entertain. It all comes back to you. If you don't like the clown, get the fuck out the circus. Excuse my language.
put the monkeys on ice.
Hey, I'm just saying. That's the tough love that my brother gives me. It comes back to self. Sis, it comes back to self. All this shit you experience, it still come back to self. Yeah. So I be listening, brother. I be listening.
Very
I
much.
love you too, sis. I love you.
Oh, family love. I love to see it.
Serious, man. I was listening all those times. I was listening. Sometimes confused as fuck, but I was listening.
So speaking of that, so I'm going to ask you, God level, is it harder? Do you think it's harder for people to trust today compared to the past? Since Mr. Skywalker had brought it up.
Yes. Yes, it is harder for people to trust today than it was in the past. Look where we at. We're on social media. Everything has been it's been brought to us by this little beautiful gadget right here. You can get anything easier. You can move on to the next person. You can buy everything online. It's quick. It's yeah. I'm serious. That's how a lot of cheating starts these days. Everything. Yeah.
It's not just that though. It's not just that.
The
People,
scammings.
Man, come on, man.
The scamming. Yeah.
People have we have a slow cooker mentality. Human beings are meant to have slow cooker mentalities, but with access to technology, everything is so microwave. You know what I'm saying? Everything is so, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, but things like the most important things, trust, honesty, consistency, love, like all of that stuff, that is slow cooker stuff. You can't pop that up in a microwave.
You try to tell people that. You try to tell people that up front, and I want what money can't buy. Give me that.
Validation.
I want what money can't buy. Trust,
Validation.
love, honesty. Those are the main three for me. If I can't trust you, then I'm going to be living on edge with you. And do I want to be living on edge? No, I don't. I like my peace. I will cut you out like a fucking cancer.
What'd you say, Jai? What do you think? Is it harder to trust people?
Oh yeah, very much, very much. I like the direction we were going with the influence of technology.
Yeah.
The virtual realms. Yeah. When you really think about it, we are plagued with so much misinformation, right? And then there's the increase in anonymity. You got all these burner pages. You don't even know if anybody's real anymore. It's because it's a profile, right? And you filter information through that profile. It's a filter. And then on top of that filter, there's more filters. So it's like you're shielded from so much information. Can you really trust? Like, what can you really trust in? There's not enough for you to make a conclusion, and so it can create a little bit of insecurity, right? And then, of course, you have a lot of online personas, and then you got people that's trying to emulate that persona, and it's a fiction, right? It's a fiction. Someone created this fiction, and I mean, AI, the advent of AI. There are AI profiles out there, and those AI profiles have hundreds of thousands of followers. People know it's AI, but they still trust in it.
Come on.
Comparisons, right? And it's just consumption. It's just for human consumption. But there's still behavioral patterns to consider here, right? What else? Misinformation. And then, of course, since we're all doing this, you don't really have to talk to anybody face to face anymore. And that's one of our main, us dinosaurs here. We're all complaining about how the kids don't talk and hang out, socialize anymore. But that's important, right? Because that's how you pick up social cues. Like if you ain't looking at a woman's face, how do you know if, all right, she ain't really feeling this vibe? But you online, you texting, you gotta figure out like online etiquette through here. Whereas 20 years ago, you had
to sit down and talk.
You would have to collect the actual physical information. Yeah. But now can we exchange numbers? Let me go follow your Facebook.
Let's see what you talking about on Facebook.
Yeah, let me. I just need
a
sample
of what you posted. Where your pictures at? Who your girlfriend at? Who liking your shit? It's too much.
And it's curated. It's curated. As John said,
you were friends with her.
As John said, every person is their own mansion. You see what another person allows you to see. You can't trust people unless they unless they are able to see into, and see into those other spots. And that's if you're giving them access. And my question is, who's getting that access? You can't even really start to trust yourself enough to get that access unless, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're actually having those physical conversations and you're actually making those interactions. Yeah, I mean, because I know so many people in general who literally they manipulate people on the internet, like they do it purposefully. Like people who do that, they'd be like, oh, something, I don't have to be real about X, Y, and Z because I'm gonna go ahead and tell this person I'm gonna make you a millionaire. I'm gonna give you $25,000. What? Scams,
catfishing.
Come on.
And then here's the other part that we're probably missing, right?
And why have a relationship when there's an app that you can hit somebody up on and there you go.
The invention of algorithms. I really want you to think about what an algorithm does, right? An algorithm just makes a suggestion based off of a certain data set about you, about a certain audience, right? The feed that you're getting is based off of what you respond to. It's based off of what you respond to, but it may not be trustworthy. But because you're feeding an algorithm that only has the algorithm does not care whether it's trustworthy or not. It's not designed for that. So you might be looking for something that you believe is trustworthy, pops up on your feed, and you trust it because it popped up on your feed. But maybe that wasn't for you. But you programmed the algorithm.
There you go. That part. Yeah, say that part.
Not only that, haven't you heard people say, my phone be listening to me, I be talking about certain things, then I get on the phone and bam, there it is.
Because the person in the microwave, like there's a microwave.
Me and my phone, we in sync. That's some weird shit right there.
You gotta know who you are.
Come on.
Now here, this is why I say this part is important, right? In terms of trust. So even though that is a machine, right? That is a machine that's feeding you data. Your worldview is being, programmed according to that, okay? Yeah. So I want you to consider the black woman that's on TikTok all day, and the only thing that's really in her algorithm is how men age.
Woo!
And all it's doing is confirming her belief, right? But there are other users out there. There's other information that would challenge those beliefs. But because the algorithm is only following the instructions given to it by her, she is in the echo chamber. No different than your Democrats, no different than your Trump supporters, no different than your Green Party folks. your black folks, your white folks, your trans people, like you're in echo chambers.
It's called confirmation bias.
Validation, and moral validation.
It's called confirmation bias. When all you have, go ahead, John.
No. Yeah, because I'm thinking up for like
confirmation bias. That is when basically when you stop challenging even your own thoughts, you look up things and you find things that basically confirm whatever your biases are. They validate whatever so if like John said, he was like, you got that woman who's on TikTok and all she has been looking up is ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You keep on getting things that are going to keep on feeding that part of you that is, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to confirm that bias. Not even because of the fact that this algorithm is trying to make money, it's going to continue to feed that bias that you have. And so you have to take a step back to like separate yourself from that and like bring yourself into bring yourself in balance. That's the reason why I always say, come on, man. Like King says all the time, bring it to self. I start to ask myself, if I got a problem with something, where do I find this problem? Where do I see it in me? Where do I see it in me? Because that's going to help me know myself better. That's going to help me challenge my thinking. And that's going to help me come to myself. When I come to myself, I trust myself. Then I can finally start to trust others. Just putting that out. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to go on mute. Yep.
And then I just want to throw in one more point, right? Again, about this algorithm and, trust, right? So everyone, we can pretty much agree, everyone is not trustworthy on the app, right? But attention is the currency. Attention, not time. Attention is the currency. So there's people out there that are purposely creating rage bait, purposely dissenting, just to get your attention. Because when you like, subscribe, comment, react, whatever,
they get paid off that shit.
They don't care about. So the relationship that we have here is disposable. It's very quick. You paid attention to my channel long enough for you to feel this way and respond and react to me and get me that little check that's coming in, 2 weeks.
Thank you. Gratification. Yeah. Winning.
Your attention is commodified. Think about that. Yes. Your attention, right? Mm-hmm. You're spending your hard-earned time that you could be spending getting to know yourself. Your attention now has a dollar bill on it. You know what I'm saying? It cheapens the human experience. It cheapens it. That's just my own point. And I'm going to go back on mute. I'm going to shut up.
You silly.
All right. I know we're getting close to our time here. So how?
Come on, man. We just talked about it. It shapes everything.
Yeah,
it shapes everything.
If you pissed off, you turn to social media just to get somebody to validate it. Once they validate, see, I knew he wasn't shit. I knew she wasn't
you
shit.
They make groups about men and post pictures, and you can only be a woman to get in the group. And they've done this in every city. And is this your man? Is this your man? Is this?
We don't say where it started from, though. That's another subject, another topic.
It is.
I just want to put this out there. The fact that modern technology and social media, like, they impact your trust. Like, this is literally talked about in psychology. We just talked about it in my psychology class. And I want to put this out there. I listened to a psychologist literally say that mental health illnesses are not necessarily mental health illnesses. They are wrapped up in confusion. That's what it means. Mental health means that you're confused with something. Right? Modern technology and social media, sometimes they are there to disconnect you, to get you confused. That's why your attention is so commodified, because they want to try to plant that seeds of confusion within you instead of for you to be truthful to yourself. Because if you feel confused, then that means that you're going to go out there and you're going to buy that product to unconfugulate yourself. Yes, confugulate. I just made that up. Go ahead. You can take it. But I'm just saying, You know what I'm saying? Like they breed confusion, and that like starts to and if you're confused as a human being, I mean, think about who can take advantage of that.
What the?
Mm.
Oh my God.
I mean, the downside is that you find yourself trusting social media versus your relationship. You become private in your thoughts to your partner in your relationship, but you open like a mother. When it comes to social media, online you share everything. But you're still seeking gratification and validation versus actually having that conversation with your spouse, like opening up and being vulnerable with your spouse. You're more vulnerable with social media than you are your own home front, so yeah.
Because that's hard. Talking to a person who you live with, that's having a hard conversation. That's too hard. I'd rather go talk to a million strangers.
They not the algorithm. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going.
They're not the algorithm. Like John said, the algorithm gonna point out everything from your smell, taste, like, dislike. And you're gonna crunch them numbers and be like, oh, I got one for you. Boom. You be like, that's what I'm talking about.
Human connection for technology. We're getting rid of human connection for technology.
All day.
Okay.
All day.
It's better to be online talking shit than to be having a serious conversation with the person you're with.
Yeah. Ain't nothing sacred no more.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it all on social media. My birthday, my last vacation, the gift I just got. I'm not gonna say who the gift came from because never mind. But yeah.
And we all have fell victim to that.
Yeah, y'all live together and you be like,
I make videos on TikTok all the time.
Yeah, you had a bad day. Yeah. Well, baby, why you ain't tell me? Huh? No, I'm fine. What social media said.
2 hours ago, you posted this video.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You had an emoji sad face.
An hour ago.
Yeah. So what's wrong? Nothing. Okay. I did ask. What's the way you asked? You should have logged into my IG and said something. I would have responded.
This has been Things That People Don't Want to Talk About, brought to you by... What?
Oh my God. That is true.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, all right, just hit me on Facebook. I'd be like,
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
Talk to people you trust to check yourself.
And I got 197 likes that say that I'm right.
Be open. Be open to people who you trust to check yourself. People hate to hear it. Man, people don't want to trust what somebody else has to say that loves them sometimes because they don't want to hear about themselves. I'm gonna go on mute because this ain't the show.
Because it don't feel good. It don't feel good.
Because you're not going with their narrative.
Yeah.
You are not going with their narrative. Me and Ivy just had this conversation because I posted something this weekend that was a little I had my reasons for why I post my little and I had to let her know, if you feel like I'm doing too much of this shit, you need to come and check my ass about it. I trust that you will do that. And you or my sister. And if my sister, she gonna contact my brother, and then my brother gonna contact me, and then John gonna contact me. The next thing you know, we all gonna be having a goddamn meeting. Renee, why is you posting this bullshit?
Intervention. Yeah. Real fast.
Man.
Oh yeah, get that shit down. Let's talk. What the fuck is the problem? I expect that because that's what y'all have shown me. Y'all ain't gonna. I ain't gonna be out there on no bullshit.
Man,
no,
that's people you don't know will have. That's so true, Marcus. It's so easier to talk to them and omit your problems and have a good feeling. And that's, it took me a while to understand that the people who actually love you, love you, they will chin check you. And the ones who love you, they will do it with grace and with love. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Sometimes that's the difference, right? It's
Tough
like the
love.
different,
You need
yes,
that.
tough love. And it's not even so much as tough love. It's just about being able to be like, okay, I can't necessarily see all of myself all the time. Everybody has blind spots because we're human, right? So trust is definitely a vulnerable activity. That is how you come on that levels the human plane of existence is vulnerability and trust. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Don't
quiet
forget.
again.
No, Miss Tanner, you was on to something. I want to point out that not only do you not trust them, but on both sides of this, you hold each other to a certain standard
There
or
you go.
statute.
There it is.
So it does hurt coming from somebody that you know and love. When they chin check you, it's like they pierce directly into your heart because you know you hurt them. You hurt them with whatever it was that you done. So when you get checked by them, you be like, man, I ain't want to tell you that because I don't want to feel worse than I already do. So when you say it to a stranger, you don't get that ridicule, you don't get that judgment, you don't get that breakdown. You know what I'm saying? You don't get that start out of eye like, the fuck is you doing? You know better than that. And then also, the last but not least, because of the relationship that you value, you'll find yourself being a representation of whoever that friend is, or family member, or loved one, or spouse, or husband, wife. You find yourself being a representation of them. So therefore, they looking at you. If you get out of character, you represent me. You make me look bad. If I get out of character, I represent you. I make you look bad. So I trust you to do the right thing. The route that you going, we got fuck that. Somebody else will have, it's okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Give yourself space to breathe. But I know you know better. You shouldn't have did it in the first place.
I posted a video on this. People who are not willing to tell you the truth of who you are is benefiting off the current version of you right now.
Bars, that part.
That's it. Yeah.
All
they're
day.
benefiting. They're
All
benefiting
day.
off the current version of you. And if you actually wake up to the truth of who you are, trust me, you're gonna change. You're gonna change the people that you hang around. Because it's like, you see me doing this shit, you ain't saying nothing. Man, girl, nah. You gotta have that real motherfucker in your corner that's gonna check your ass about the stupid shit you do. Like you just said, representation. I trust Ivy, I trust John, I trust you. I do some crazy
If you don't trust
shit.
nobody else, that mirror don't never lie.
And I trust me too with the things that I'm learning, not to have my boundaries crossed again, to put me in a situation where I have to dig myself up out of a hole.
Man, people, come on, Christine, because she is spitting bars, man. Like, people, nothing can be changed without having those hard conversations. You can't trust somebody until they can let you see into a part of them. And now here is something that it took me a long time to learn. It took me a long time to learn. People don't have to always like you or whatever it is that you do or whatever it is that you say. They don't necessarily, I'm going to bring back up Christine's quote, because even people who love each other do not exactly have to have the same opinions. The question is can you listen to them and can you trust that they are an adult and that they can make their own decisions? Can you let them be like, okay, I said that you might want to check this area. Now you check this area, and are you going to, like, you got to let it go. I had to learn that sometimes when I'm listening to people, I can't always interject with my thoughts on it. I just have to let them sometimes be. And then we cross that road when we get to it. You know what I'm saying? And that also we did, and that also brings trust. That brings trust.
We had that conversation too.
Yeah.
I want to add to what you said,
Yeah.
Ms. Tanner, and I raised that challenge in bar to say this is where my peace come from. We just had this conversation. Once I'm able to establish an understanding, I develop peace. So there's no need for me to look at you as like what you're saying. Hey, no, you're wrong, and here's why. No. Sometimes I gotta sit still, situate myself and eat what you have to say.
Ooh, get
and
curious.
Take from it, yeah. There you go. What you said. That was your word. Be curious.
Hit that quote, Ivy, because I try to keep it in my head. Hit that quote. The quote, Ivy. You know what quote I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about. Which one? Because we didn't talk about a lot of them. Because it could be.
You can only change by how much bullshit you are willing to
yeah.
say about yourself.
a man or a woman, a person can only change, right? They can only change to the amount that they can hear stuff about themselves and not run away. What can you hear about yourself and be like, oh yeah, that might be true, and not run from whatever it is, and instead integrate it? What I love at times that people actually hear themselves and come on, man.
There you go.
That's a beautiful thing, Christine. Yeah. At times people actually hear themselves and pause. Man, so very true. So very true.
You have activated your own consciousness.
That's it. That is it.
Who is your friend? Christine? She's your friend?
No, she's on the group. She's in the group and she be spitting bars, man. Yes, thank you, Christine.
Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, baby.
Christine be spitting bars, show, like for real. Seriously. So thank you so very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
We really do. What we got for next week?
Oh, I don't know. But I will say, I'll just close off this question. I noticed it started off negative, and then we kind of started getting positive about how does modern technology and social media impact trust in relationships, right? And I just want to, put it out there that this is a virtual space. We are having a conversation with an audience about this subject. Our reach is big because of this. I know about King and Renee because of Facebook. These apps expanded. I met Hosea through a group on Facebook, common interests. I met my wife through Instagram, fitness group. Mm-hmm. Social media and modern technology expanded my reach. It really is about how you use it. It is a technology, it's a tool. It is about how you use it. And a lot of us are not developed here enough to know how to use it. I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, some of us do not deserve this shit. Some of us should not have had a phone. Some of us should not have had a profile, right? I also think of, in terms of my learning, cultural conditioning, being exposed to all of these different frequencies, different algorithms, these different people that I know I would not be talking to. I would not be talking to a lot of these folks. But having the opportunity to just shut up and listen because I want to know. I don't have access to any of these narratives, to any of this information here. But I'm on this platform that broadcasts and makes you accessible. And I'm listening and I'm studying and I'm evaluating and I'm critically thinking and I'm dissecting. And then I'm probably responding and seeing if we can form a relationship. I might be studying you. I might be studying your ideology. I would not know as much as I know now without these platforms, because it's not just book. I don't just get my information through books. I get them from people. I study people too. It's very interesting what people know. Like, you can learn somebody, and then with learning that person, you can apply so much of that information to other people. And so it can improve and enhance your relationships when you have access and you're being responsible. You're being responsible. You're being responsible. A lot of us are not being responsible. You can be responsible about how you use the information and apply it in your life to enhance other lives, including your own. So there is a positive aspect to all of this. While yes, it can get in the way of human connection, it could also be the net that you need, that grappling hook that you need, that lasso you need to bring those just a little bit closer, because they're too far away, or bring you in closer.
Right. Okay.
Thank you for that. That was a positive. That was a positive way to bring that in, because that's true. That's very true. Yeah.
That was a positive way.
I'll tell you. That's why John Skywalker, the Sly Talker, is like, go ahead.
One thing real quick, because I know we're going to go. be careful when you invite people to the table to have these conversations. Some children shouldn't be at this table when we have adult conversations. Because of social media, we really don't know what we're talking about. So like John said, take the time out to vet who it is you're dealing with. It may be social media, but you can tell if it's a bot, you can tell if it's a scam, you can tell if it's a person that's being genuine, you can tell if a person even have knowledge to even speak on the subject matter. Just be careful who you let into your table of consciousness. That's all.
What's up. That's what's up. Things that people don't want to talk about. I want to thank everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. We will be back next week. John, you got me?
Yeah. Salute y'all.
Peace.